Okay, folks, some horses just went by. Oh, quite a vision. So I'm going live about 7 shadows of lightworkers. Lightworkers, wayshowers, starseeds. These are all, as I said in the previous video, terms which are useful. But if certain people say, "Well, you're a light worker, you're a star seed, you're a wayshower," or whatever, that creates separation and division. And we know that the goal is unity. So, but for the sake of convenience, we'll just have light workers slash star seeds slash wayshower, you know. So I wanted to talk about the shadows today because they are not talked about a lot in the community. And it's very important to address because there are a lot of pitfalls and places where people tend to bypass a lot. So without further ado, here are the 7 shadows and their solutions. So number 1 is extreme self-doubt. So you might be kind of like doubting yourself, but the solution is to understand who you truly are and having a clarity of purpose, which is knowing why you're here to begin with. So once you kind of know thyself, as they say in ancient Greece, and know what you're here to do, you know, your karma and your job, so to speak, then that kind of erases the self-doubt, and that transforms into, you know, confidence and self-possession and, you know, knowing what you're here to do. So number 2 is extreme self-loathing. So you might kind of like have negative thoughts about yourself, like I hate myself, just negative self-talk, and which sends you down a spiral. And that's because your enculturated ego, your socialized ego, was picking up so much shit from parents, from school, from friends, from society, whilst growing up, while that brain was still quite plastic and malleable. So you were basically absorbing, rather than observing, you were absorbing other people's shit, basically. And you, because you're such an empath, you want to make it your own and carry the burden, you know, this crippling crucifix. But no, you don't have to do that. You don't have to be a martyr. And you don't need to loathe yourself. It doesn't serve you or the world to loathe yourself, believe it or not. So the solution is to rewire your brain through subconscious reprogramming, positive affirmations, etc., etc. And there are plenty of videos on YouTube. You just have to go to the ones that resonate and make it a practice. You know, I know it's tough, but every morning, every evening, get those self-love subconscious reprogramming videos on and let your subconscious do the work. Really, it's not too late. It really isn't too late. So number 3 is addiction, or bad habits like drugs, alcohol, sex, porn, etc. And just these coping mechanisms that make us all the more human. You know, it's just really cool knowing that you're a light worker and a galactic or wherever, and not feeling human at all, but you manage to like, I smoke. So that's like the sort of point of reference that makes you feel human, you know, or something like that, or drink, you know. But the solution, obviously, is to seek help. I know it feels impossible to ask other people for help, I know. But humble yourself and actually seek help from someone very practical and 3D, you know, like like an AA professional or something like that. And yeah, seek some 3D help. You know, 3D can be useful from a 3D professional or something who's quite practical and impersonal and literally specializes in overcoming addiction. Simple as that. Um, so seek the help you need. Get like an accountability partner, and find the wherewithal to go clean for a month or two. Um, I know it's easier said than done, but it does help to have a support network around you of some sort. Otherwise, doing it alone will just, from experience, it doesn't work at all. What does work is in order to get off your addictive substance, such as like porn or alcohol, is microdosing psychedelics. Highly recommended because it launches you into the higher frequencies and basically nullifies the craving altogether, which is great. But the flip side of that is you become completely detached from the material world, and that can be a bit scary for the ego. So you need to be ready for that. Number 4 is extreme self-sabotage. So like, let's say you actually do something good for yourself for once, like, I don't know, some project or going for a walk or doing something good for you. And then there's this unconscious mechanism which causes you to relapse into an addiction or to spiral in negative thoughts or just self-harm in one way or another. The solution is to become aware of that pattern and see if you can, I know it takes practice, to redirect the focus. So like, it's like, oh shit, I'm about to have a bottle of vodka. Extreme example. You say, oh, I'll do something that will be more beneficial. Like I'll read for an hour or play the piano or go for a long walk instead. That will redirect the focus or do something else that resonates with you. So number 5 is social anxiety. We spoke of this in the interview the other night with Harry. And as Harry said, the solution is to face your fears, talk to strangers more, even if you're not feeling it, because it's so easy. It's like a reflex to get into that introverted shell and just like not make any eye contact or just like be totally in there. But like open up gradually. And another solution for social anxiety is engaging in self-soothing protocols, whatever that works for you, like a salt bath or yoga or self-massage or something, and you know, anything. For women, you will know what to do more than men, I'm sure, with the self-soothing stuff. Number 6, shadow of light workers, etc., is psychic attack. Now, the dark controllers use a lot of dark technology, and you know, it's a bit like Harry Potter. You need to learn defense against the dark arts. Okay, there's a great book by Robert Bruce called Practical Psychic Self-Defense. I'll share a link below. It's very useful. And so yeah, learn psychic self-defense, energy work as well. I know it sounds a bit, but for the more sensitive among you, energy work is a must. Saging, smudging, crystals, that's just come to mind. Smudging and crystals. I don't do that nearly enough. I feel like I need a major smudge right now. Raising your frequency, vibration, which is again way easier said than done. But as Abraham Hicks suggests, take the path of least resistance when going up the vibrational ladder. So it's not like, oh, I'm down in the dumps now. I should feel joy, but I'm not. So, it's not like that. You need to, if you're feeling depressed, get fearful. And when you're fearful, get angry. And when you're angry, become accepting, and then have courage, willingness, etc., etc. And then, yeah. So, and number 7 is a shadow of Lightworkers is empath burnout or empath overwhelm. So you might find yourself in a situation with friends or family where you're just like tapping in way too much into their aura and energy field and trying to transmute their energy like a good martyr, but it actually doesn't serve you. So the solution is to unplug from social media, from friends, from family, and go into nature alone and recharge in nature. Also, please get some proper sleep. Dark room, no electronics, eye mask. Make sure you sleep like a baby. That will be conducive to your success majorly. Make sure you sleep like a log, and spend time in quiet spaces away from any kind of distraction. The number one distraction, apart from friends and family, is, of course, machinery outside or phones and computers. Make sure you take off the pings off your phone and the vibrations. No, not the vibration. Off your phone or the pings, because that is a recipe for absolute fucking disaster, really. When you become a slave to your own phone, rather than you using your phone to your advantage on your own terms, when it becomes that you become the slave, you want your phone to be your bitch, not the other way around, okay? So please let me reinforce that for you, because it happens to me too much. So I hope that's been helpful. And one more thing is, please note that there are a lot of narcissistic predators in the spiritual community who tend to bully you for not being high vibe all the fucking time. It's like, you should be high vibe all the time. And that mentality is just going to make you feel like shit, when it's like, oh, you should be feeling this way. You should be feeling joy and bliss all the time. And when you're not, it just makes you feel horrible. And this is narcissistic, it's bullying. It's bullying. So let the process be your own. Let it be gentle and organic. And for me anyway, I would much rather be authentic in the now than suddenly forcing myself into this high frequency, which can be a sign of spiritual bypassing. So there we go. I guess the way to transmute that is Oscar Wilde's quote, yeah, you might be in the gutter, but at least you're looking at the stars. And not only that, you're one of them. So there we go. I hope that's been of some use. I think that was really important to share, and looking forward to the interview tonight with Dr. Stephen Hopwood. That should be extremely exciting. So yeah, till then, and much love for now.